look up Andrew Tate's views on feminism and just read that, maybe?
No, we can talk about that.
Feminism is the worship of the devil, so you can understand why.
Okay, all right.
Why he doesn't like feminism.
Is that in quote somewhere?
No, it's just I just said it just
Do you
then.
believe feminism is the worship of the devil?
It is.
Can you please elaborate?
Sure. I mean, you can read a book called Occult Feminism by Rachel Wilson, and it goes into detail of it. Basically, if you look into the history of feminism, from the start, there's a lot of demon worshipping going on. There's a lot of summoning demons, and there's a lot of women there who are involved in some very nefarious spiritual practices.
Very nefarious.
Not dissimilar to Katie.
Katie?
But
Katie.
not quite the same. Lots of like strange mystical practices. Demon summoning, worshipping demons.
Interesting.
Demon worship.
Occult feminism, Rachel Wilson.
Beelzebub.
It goes into it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you actually wanted to learn about it, it'd blow your hair back.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw an interesting quote from, and Nick, I don't know if you can pull this up. Fuck. Nick, Google this. So there's someone named Kate Millett. Her sister, who you should Google, Mallory Millett. So Kate founded the National Organization for Women, which I believe was founded in the 1960s, which is a feminist organization. It's the preeminent women's advocacy organization. And I believe if it was either Kate or Mallory, they had some interesting things to say about the American family. So Google Mallory Millett, Millett, and then American family, and I think that prompt should be able to scroll down. You need to do a search for scroll down. Here it is. Yep. Up. 1969, Kate invited me to join her for a gathering among feminists. Consciousness raising group. Can you make it bigger, Nick? A typical communist exercise. Something practiced in Mao's China. But now it was Marxism. Okay. Here. Can you read this, Kayla? The quotes. Why are we here today?
Why are we here today? She asked. To make a revolution, they answered. What kind of revolution? She asked. The culture revolution, they chanted. And how do we make a cultural revolution? She demanded. By destroying the American family, they answered. How do we destroy the American family? She came back. By destroying the American patriarchy, they cried exuberantly. And how do we destroy the American patriarchy? She replied. By taking away his power. And how do we do that? By destroying monogamy, they shouted. How can we destroy monogamy? Their answer left me dumbstruck, breathless, disbelief in my ears. Was I on planet Earth? Who were these people? By promoting promiscuity, eroticism, prostitution, and homosexuality, they rounded.
So, I mean, that's the sister and one of the founders of the National Organization for Women, the preeminent and leading women's organization in the U.S. I mean, it has its genesis in basically attempting to destroy the American family. Also, if you look back at like early feminism, it was incredibly, it was a very rather racist movement. Like they wanted white women to vote. They wanted to secure the vote for just white women.
And some of the most famous feminists, like Margaret Sanger, for example, is a eugenicist. She believes in culling population. And she's also, responsible for family planning, all of the abortions that happen now. She's basically responsible for that. So these people are dark, twisted people, and then this has seeped into our society today, and we don't even realize what we're believing.
Before we go further on that conversation, though, I do want to go around the table. Maybe I should have asked this first. Who here considers themselves a feminist? Starting with Kayla.
I don't think I'm educated enough on the topic, and
Okay.
I just got really overwhelmed with how many loud girls were yelling at me or like shouting around about it.
Okay, that's kind of based.
Yeah, that's good.
What about you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't consider myself feminist, no.
Yes.
To a degree, I believe in gender roles, though.
You believe in gender roles? What are those?
I believe for certain situations, other people might not need it in their life, but for me, I do believe that, with my partner, I expect him to make enough money to take care of me, but I also plan on getting enough money for myself regardless if I have a partner. But I love the idea of him financially taking care of me, even if I have the financial means to take care of myself, because I think that creates an environment where I can be more feminine. I can be more in that feminine role of like cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. I don't think that fits everybody. I think that's very personal to me. I believe that guys should open the door for me. I believe flowers.
Pay for first dates.
Yeah, but I believe that investment comes back. I think when you're in a relationship, if they're paying for all the dates, my love language is gift giving. So if I'm financially able, that might mean I'll buy him his like dream car, right? It's like great scenario there if like all the finances work out. I don't expect him to financially support me because I'm not able to financially support myself. I expect to have a high paying job. That's my goal. I'm not going to be a stay at home wife. But I think it creates this environment that allows me to be in my feminine.
Okay.
I have a question. Can it go likewise? Like a man can also expect the same thing, like you asking him for the date and you paying first time, and then he can give you a, like, you are investing first and then he's giving you like back the same thing.
I wouldn't go on a date, a second date with a guy if he didn't pay the first time.
So
That's a very feminist position of yours, but
would you say that you're a feminist when it suits you?
Not when it suits me, but I believe that women should have the same rights as men. I believe that we should be paid
What rights
the same
are you
amount.
fighting for?
I mean, right now we have the same rights, but the idea of feminism came from a history.
But you said you're a feminist, so that must mean that you're sort of like leaning towards there being more rights given to women. What rights?
It's supporting that there's a continuation that women have the same rights as men and that we get paid the same and stuff like that.
We have the same rights. What's wrong?
I'm not saying that we don't. I'm saying that it's a continuation
Sure.
of support, because the idea of feminism started.
So that
from
you're saying there's no
history.
need for the movement, but you are still
I think there's
an advocate of the movement.
Well, for me personally, there's not an industry that I'm in that I'm like fighting for this, but I know that there's a lot of feminists that are in a certain industry where they don't feel like they're treated as equally as men, and I support their fight for that equality.
What-
well, there is though.
what
I mean, it was
industry?
legislated in the 1960s. There's equal pay, and if you can prove that you're not being paid equally for the same level of seniority, the same work that's being done, you can bring a lawsuit.
Yeah, and we've like moved towards that, but we're still seeing situations where there isn't equal pay, and that's what this great conversation of like talking about your
Sure.
wages, that's starting to happen now.
On the wage thing, really quick, do you think, for example, NBA players, do you think WNBA players should be paid the same as NBA players?
No.
So male
because-
basketball players, female basketball players.
No, strictly because there's a higher view.
Sure,
There's
okay.
more viewers for the NBA, which is a direct translation of, their profit, their funds,
Okay.
the investments. I think that with sports
Sure.
it's a little difficult because it's based on viewers. It's similar to like a TV show.